Hey, welcome to another episode of Legion Elite Motorsports. I'm your host, Isaiah. And today we got a new hood in. Actually, a trunk. Let's check it out. Okay, so we have a new item that we're going to place on the Mirage. We're missing some emblems. Lancer. We got a cracked light here. This one's decent. So that, and this used to have a spoiler. So we got to take all of this off. We got a little bit of damage over here in these corners, little dents. Got to pull that out. Little discoloration. A little dent there. A little dent down here. So hopefully we'll be able to straighten out this trunk enough to get it ready for the car. So first thing I want to do is finish cleaning all of this off. Yeah, this is from the old spoiler. Already got a head start, but still needs more. And then we want to take the whole trunk apart. So lights out, locking mechanism out, the wiring for the lights up under here. We're going to want to take that out and then go to our original trunk and do the same thing. So let's get started. Okay, so I took everything out of it. The lights, even up here, which I'm gonna show you guys in a second, but I cleaned half of it just with some basic bleach and everything, and it looks savable as far as, the paint and everything is concerned. I'm pretty sure I might either be able to buff this out or what have you, but that is a huge difference. Let's see if we can get some more light on there, but that's a huge difference between clean and not. So I'm gonna continue to clean, but before we do, I wanted to show you everything that came out. So we got the lights, which just basically unplug. We have the locking mechanism, which is held in by this clip. This arm goes into this hole for the yellow tab, and then this tab locks onto the shaft so it doesn't go anywhere. Then of course we have a little buttons. I even took off the little rubber grommet that keeps the trunk from slamming. And then this is the adjuster to make sure that it's at the proper height when you close it. It only had one of each. So we're definitely gonna recycle and use all of them from the old trunk and take that part from there. Also, this locking mechanism, I took this one off. I'm gonna use the one that's already on the car, so it shouldn't be too far off from anything. We have a tab here that lets the car know that if the trunk is open or not, lights up on the dash type deal. And then the harness that was in here that controls the lights in the rear and that sensor for letting you know if the trunk is open was cut, which is fine because we still have the one that's on the car currently, so that's not a big deal. And then also we have these little clips that you push out for the wiring harness. So we're gonna do all of that once we get to that trunk. But until then, yeah, that's pretty much about it. I'm gonna finish cleaning the rest of this trunk. Let me show you what I took out on the other side. So I'm gonna flip this and we're gonna take a look and keep going. Okay, and this of course hasn't been cleaned yet. Here is where the locking mechanism bolts to. All of the accessories go right here. The cords and everything go here, here, and these two areas are the clips for the license plate lights. And then all of that stuff routes up through this hole. So no big deal there. We got these lights out, 3 screws, one there, there, and there on both sides. Then we took the locking mechanism out right here, which you just slide the clip up. We're gonna use the original one that's on the car, so you'll still be able to use the original key. So we're gonna keep that. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the bottom. All of this will be cleaned shortly, and we'll take a look at what she looks like all cleaned up. Okay, she is cleaned a lot better, but one thing I did notice is this area here is no longer sealed, so I'm gonna have to reseal this whole area. And of course, my poison of choice in this area is the same way. It's cracked, and this is bad because water will get in here and rust it out from the inside out. So if we seal this, it won't rust and we'll be good to go. So you can see right here, it is completely open to the elements, and that is not good. So I'm going to see if I can clean out these areas, and I'm gonna use a product called Pure 15 to make sure that this doesn't rust in the future, and then, you know, kind of take it from there. Also, on another note, I took out the rubber grommet from here. This is the bump stop, and I left these in. I'm gonna see if I can find some more of those. This is just to make sure the trunk is sealed. So we're almost there, we're getting there. So now that she's all cleaned up, I'm gonna reseal it, let it dry. Then I'm gonna try to clean up these edges, all of these edges, and see if I can take it from there, get this thing as clean as possible, and then, yeah, get it ready for installation. Okay, this is dry. So I'm gonna scrape off the excess right along the corner here, and that'll be good. So next, what we're gonna do, let me flip this around so we can see that, and hopefully try to take out these scratches. We'll see. If it doesn't come out, no big deal. The plan is to, once I get all of the body parts and everything, I'm going to have the whole car painted. So, you know, we're still missing a bumper. Let me know in the comments if you got one. I'm looking for the shorty one, white, obviously, even though it's gonna get painted. But yeah, but until then, I'm gonna cover these holes also. So we have 2 holes here, and then we have a hole on each side. Okay, now I think we graduated to this trunk. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start taking this one off. 212 millimeter, or excuse me, 10 millimeters over here. See, it has the rubber grommet here. We're gonna use all of these factory goodies and get her to where she needs to be. So, first we're gonna take off these wires, which this is the trunk pop and lights and accessories, which are these, which are in great condition. We're gonna keep those. And we're gonna snake this out and then take it from there. So I will be back. Okay, so as you can see, this is the locking mechanism for the lock. So when you unlock it, it pushes a lever, which opens the trunk. Here's our original locking mechanism in general. Then we got our clips, which we're gonna keep each and every one of them. So we wanna see where each and every one is. So that one, all of this stuff here, everything should fit up perfectly. Unplug the plugs, 1 and 2. Then we're gonna take each wiring piece out. And then we're gonna keep the clips. So even though we're disconnecting that now, we're actually gonna keep the whole thing. So, yeah, so we're gonna take the rest of this apart, pull the wiring harness through, including the cables, and be good to go. So we will be back once we get some of this stuff taken out. And then for the American spec one, you want to grab this as best as you know how and give it a couple quick yanks. It's got snap tabs on it, so it should slide out fairly easy. without breaking anything. Phew, very dusty. But yes, and then you'll be able to get your locking mechanism out. So that's how we get to that. And there we have it. It is all put on there. I still have to get the tail lights. These are from the 2001, and it has like a little dip here, so it doesn't match up to the trunk, as you can see there. But regardless to what, it fits perfectly. I put the emblems on there, so it is officially legit. Everything works. So we take the keys, pop the trunk like normal, and yeah. There's one thing to note though. The rod that goes to this trunk is longer than the stock rod to the original trunk. So I had to take this off, which I bent it open, pulled it from around there, and then slid the whole thing on. So now it actually functions like a regular trunk. Before, it wouldn't close or latch or anything. It was quite the small headache, but that's it. She's good to go. Still didn't seal these up. I'm going to close those up. I need to get something on the back side for these because this hole's a little too big. These I should be able to take care of no problem. And I'm gonna leave these there, and it's only gonna be silicone closed, just so you know, if in the future I might want to go a different route, I'll be able to. The holes will already be here, and take it from there. So there she is. And with that being said, we're gonna call it an episode there. I hope you guys enjoyed and found it informative. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hope you consider subscribing, hitting that bell icon for updated notifications, and hopefully you can give it a thumbs up. But until then, remember guys, knowledge is power, and I will see you next episode.